What's going on, everybody? Zach Walker and Molly here.
Welcome.
CoronaCast 2.0. As you can see, I plan on doing the entire show with my respirator on. Hope that's not going to be annoying.
It's been an interesting day in the office, let me tell you.
I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do this. See if I can pull this off. What's going on, everybody? I just wanted to bring some levity to the situation. If you can hear us, if you can see us, let us know. If you're tuned in, give us a comment. Let us know what's going on.
We're looking at the comments.
We are currently looking at the comments. I downloaded some bed music, which is a fancy term for music when you talk, and apparently I was unable to get that to play. That's on me. But let me get everything pulled up here so that we can... with 20 seconds to go, I was like, hold on, Connor, don't start that yet. So we're trying to get... There we go. We got Leah, Ashley. What's up, ladies? That means my son's watching. What's up, Z-Man? Zayden, what are you doing, buddy? How was that nap? Did you have a good nap? Look, we have a bunch of stuff to talk about today. We are gonna postpone our first science experiment, which I'm terribly upset about, as you can probably imagine.
The anticipation here.
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're building up anticipation. But we got a lot of information out today about coronavirus that is not necessarily negative or the world is going to end, because guess what? It's not. We're all going to be okay. But we wanted to talk about those things, see what was out there going on with you guys. Maybe we get some interaction today. And Molly has a surprise, which has me terrified. She's been running around the office in a veil of secrecy. Lorena says, I'm here. What's going on, Lorena?
That's
Thanks
my
for...
mom.
Oh, what?
Hi, Mom. Yep.
Lorena. Lorena, I apologize. Lorena, will you call into the show?
Oh.
Will you call into the show? Comment right now. Call in. We're going to talk about Molly. I've got a ton that I need to know. I'll have to make sure
you're gonna have to clarify directions on
that
how
works
people
here.
do that.
Well, I mean, I've got no problem. I'll just give her a phone number and she'll call in. It'll be that simple. So, but no, look, we do have a ton of stuff that we want to talk about. Oh, look, there's my music. See, that would have been so epic. I just want to make sure in case Lorena calls in that I'm ready. That's all. So, anyways, look, the couple things that are out there today. I kind of want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
And make you pull your little surprise box out and show me what. All right, do it.
Okay.
I'm terrified.
So I had this idea. So I have been creating all of these cool activities for you to do with your kids that don't require you to go to the store and buy things, because I'm sure when you get there, it'll not be there probably anyway. So I used to love this game as a kid called Guess Who. It was my favorite game, that and Monopoly. If you ever came to any vacation with my family, that's all we do. All vacations, we just play games the whole time.
Is that the game where you like match?
Yes. So I made one for all the people in our office.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if you all know, but
oh gosh.
I accessed all of their photos from business cards and
oh gosh. I'm so sorry,
Facebook.
Everyone.
And so in theory you would have two of these. Okay, so it's a piece of cardboard.
This is so
and I
bootleg.
Okay, but this is not going to the store. I put all of their faces on it.
Oh.
Okay. So
this is actually a really good idea. I'm going to make fun of Molly because it's fun to do so, but really this is a good idea.
You would I printed out their faces and I would have the exact same one, right? No,
right. I'm just making it because it was popping up. I could see it, so I want to play.
Okay, so no, you keep them up.
Oh, my bad.
Have you ever played Guess Who?
No, well, clearly not the way you play Guess Who.
Okay, so you put them all up.
Okay.
And I have a picture of somebody.
Bingo. Oh,
no. I have a picture of somebody. And you got to figure out whose picture I'm holding. So you got to ask me questions, like 20 questions. And ask me a question. Look at these people.
Which one of them is fat with a beard? Me.
You say, is the person fat with a beard? And I would say no.
Is the person fat with a beard?
And I would say no.
Is the person blonde?
No, hang on. And what do you do with that? You put it down. Okay.
Is the person male or female?
You have to.
Is the person a male?
Yes. There you go.
Does the person have a beard?
Yes.
Ooh, that was a bad question because all but one had a beard. Is the person bald?
Yes.
Keith. Boom.
Yep.
I'm so good at this game. See, it was going to be Brandon or Keith or Tony, but the beard kind of put Tony out. Sometimes he rocks a beard.
It's way more fun.
That's actually not. That's
when you know the people Or if it's like a TV show that everybody in your family loves, like it's way more fun than just like Sally and Joe's face that you don't even, those people don't mean anything. But it'd be hilarious if it was people you knew.
Okay, so give me the box. Give me the box. Okay, so this is what we said we were going to do. And we talked about it, and then we're going to do it tomorrow. We're going to bring up some like science stuff. But this is like literally, this is a box of folders that she cut small holes in, and she put people's pictures. And I'll show you, like, there's pictures on the back side of that box, right? And then she has the matches right here. And you just, I mean, it's a game you can play. You can put numbers on it. You can put people on it. You can put characters to books, Frozen, Elsa, whatever on it. And it's just a way to pass time at home.
And
so
you can ask silly questions. Like,
I'm not gonna give you too hard a time about that. That's okay.
I thought it was.
Molly comes out of the gate strong.
Wanted to do that.
Comes out of the gate strong.
I've always wanted to do that.
So be careful. I'm going to monologue here for a little while, probably. But let's talk about. I mean, first of all, Molly, I really do. I mean that. I'm not giving you a hard time. That was solid. I got to give you props.
I got a lot of ideas. See,
you're a teacher.
Don't underestimate me.
Well, I've never underestimated you.
I just we got all sorts of
I'm
ideas.
never sure how much I like the ideas. My teachers were never really fond of me, as you can probably imagine. So teachers are never mind. All right. So look, here's the thing. There's a ton of stuff going on right now. We're in this like window of what they're calling the most important window in the entire scope of this pandemic. We're in that window right now with what happens over the course of the next week. That what people are saying is what the United States does over the course of this week will define the size of the pandemic as it grows. Whether or not I agree with that is a whole different ballgame. But there's some things. There's been 3 reports coming out that Molly's going to try to rip all of this to shreds with her biology knowledge. But there's a lot of stuff coming out right now about this malaria drug that is showing a tremendous amount of promise in treating it, and and I'm going to try this hydroxychloroquine, hydroxychloro something, okay? And it is an off-the-shelf malaria treatment that if you've ever been to Africa, you've been to some of the countries where that's like they give you a package of pills for malaria for we got pills. What's
when you go like
the parasites? You get a parasite pack when you go overseas, when you travel internationally. A lot of times the treatment for malaria is incled in that because depending on where you're going, malaria is a real problem.
Right, not just Africa. I mean,
no, that was the first one that came to head. I see you took exception to me saying one country.
It's a vaccine.
Why'd you take exception?
No, I just think it's important.
To me saying Africa. That's a fact. It's in Africa.
Okay, but it's also other places.
I got that, but I didn't say only.
I just take issue
with a lot of things.
I take issue with us calling this a Chinese virus. Just classifying
Tell me why.
A virus,
Tell me why.
Any sort of disease, classifying it to a specific country or person it's dangerous and it's irresponsible, and in some terms it can be racist. So just in terms of like it's almost demonizing a person, like people who. So it's a popular thing on TikTok
when they were calling this the Wuhan virus, right? That's calling it Wuhan China virus. So the reference I'm
not personally offended. I'm just saying it's important to understand that it's not.
Sure, but it's also not
Chinese
irresponsible.
Not going to have.
Sure, but I don't think that's what anyone's saying, and I think that's an oversimplification of saying the Chinese or the Wuhan virus. We're not saying the Chinese people virus. We're not saying the African malarians. We're saying that Wuhan, the food market in Wuhan, was where this disease first genetically mutated to pass from animal to human.
I agree, but
so that's a statement of fact.
You're right,
okay.
But. In the past we've always called it bird flu. We didn't call it China flu. So I don't.
But it's not bird flu. It's different. This is a different strain.
If a different strain from chickens, yes, it's also a bird.
But it's not bird flu.
Coronaviruses originate from bird flus. I'm pretty sure.
Pretty sure?
Let me Google.
I'm going to put her on the spot. She's going to Google it. Anyways, look. We were talking about this today. This is going to be a lot of fun for us because we are so different. We're opposite people in a lot of ways, but we respect one another and we appreciate one another and what they bring to the table. And so we're going to be able to talk about things that are probably uncomfortable for most of you watching even, because we're going to tackle, at some point we will accidentally tackle something we probably ought not tackle, because it's going to happen. And that's okay, because the reality is when we finish this and this live stream ends, and here's what Americans, take notes right now. If you have something in front of you, pull out your pen and your paper and take notes. This is what it looks like. She works with me every day. Her office is right next to mine. We spend a tremendous amount of time together, and we don't agree on much of anything at all. And guess what? We absolutely have a great relationship. We respect one another. We value what gives me a lot of my perspectives is what makes me good in ways that she's not. Like my boldness and like just being willing to just be, she's not like me in any way. And so a lot of the positives and negatives are complementary, and you need all types, right? And so as Americans, like what makes this country great is all of its representative pieces working together as one cohesive country. And as we battle this pandemic, that's really, we're writing the history books right now. Like there's no guidelines or playbook from how to move forward from this. Like this is for us our ground zero. A lot of the kids alive weren't born in 2001 when we witnessed ground zero, when we witnessed terrorism, we witnessed a country pulling together. Right now, it's another ground zero for a lot of people, and I don't think they realize that. And that's not to say that the virus is going to kill a whole bunch of people. It's to say that we have responsibilities as American citizens to act in a certain way right now to prevent the spread of this virus, to inhibit those who are 60 plus, who are immunocompromised, who do have type 1 diabetes, whatever the studies are showing, from getting a disease that will kill them. Like we have a responsibility. And so watching her and I, and the way that Molly and I go about talking about these things, is going to be a great lesson for a lot of people out there, because we don't agree on much of anything when it comes to politics, when it comes to calling it bird flu or saying malaria is from Africa as an example of one of the places that it comes from. But we're always going to land in a place that is respectful and that is
right. You can agree to disagree.
Absolutely.
I don't feel like.
Look, if she doesn't change her opinions, what am I going to do? Absolutely nothing. We're gonna hit the end button. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna go to work.
It's something that I've always said to you. Like we have way much more in common than I feel like you realize in terms of us being on the same page of things. Like it's just the aisle is really not as wide as the media tries to make it. It's never that wide. Seem. It's really not. Like I think if we brought it down to it, we agree on a lot of things, but the media makes it sound like. I don't know. I just feel like a lot of times we've talked about things that we end up at the end of the day agreeing.
Well, here's the problem with a lot of this right here. It's not the facts of what's in this paper. It's the opinions. Mm. It's the garbage that's written to pad the facts that is shaping opinions, the media shaping opinions in a way that is unbelievably dangerous. It is irresponsible. Yeah. It's a lot of things, because you have a generation of people who aren't like you and I. You and I are not afraid to go and we're going to go dig in and find our own, what I believe is what I've researched and what I know to be fact. Okay. I don't take anything anybody says at face value without verifying the information. You do the same thing. Right. That's why we end up a lot of times at a very narrow margin of different opinion, because fact is fact. You can't change fact. And so you can have different opinions on fact, but the wild left and right, it's crazy, both side, just way out here rhetoric is it's dangerous,
really,
but
it's kind of false. I mean, I feel like the people on either side of the spectrum, I mean, it's a very small minority of people. At the end of the day, we end up agreeing on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so, at the end of the day, look, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff on here. A lot of it, we want to be a positive place. We want to be a place for positivity. Obviously, this isn't supposed to be. Look, this may turn into a talk show of opinion, and we just get up here and talk about our opinions, and that's okay too. Like, that's okay. There's no rules for how this is going to go. We don't know how this is going to go. Lorena, your mom posted on there Chinese flu, Spanish flu, American flu, maybe. There's a lot of that going around right now, because quite frankly, defining an origination point for a virus like this is almost impossible. Right. I mean, it's been around for who knows how long. Here's how this works. And I heard a very clear explanation of this yesterday, and it was really good. So you listen to this here, okay? This organism, this virus, right? It existed in animals for a long time. It's existed since we knew what a virus was. We've had coronavirus, okay? And viruses tend to mutate. They try to mutate, grow, change into something that will allow them to fill in the blank. Well, this particular virus had never transferred from, we knew animals had it, but it had never It had never mutated to the point to jump from animal to human. At some point in that meat market in Wuhan, as far as we know, at some point that virus mutated from animal to animal to human, and it jumped from an animal host to a human host.
Like
Here's the crazy part.
Yeah, just like
Here's the crazy part. Within 2 weeks, it mutated again to jump from human to human.
Right.
That's the scary part.
That's why vaccines can't really keep up with it. I mean, you can't.
Well, that's the scary part, and that's why this malaria drug. I mean, the way that this thing treats it, it looks like. I mean, if I'm not a smart man, I've never claimed to be, but it looks like it's taking the time of contagious down to about 5 days, give or take, or cutting it in half, say. Let's just say that, right?
No,
and
I
so
heard that too.
That's a huge piece of this, right? It's because that's a problem. What I understand about this virus is like it lives on surfaces for 4 or 5 days. You can have the virus for a week without having any symptoms. That's terrifying.
Right. And there's a motion sickness drug from the 1950s that pregnant women used to take, but they banned it because it was causing birth defects. They're finding now in China as well that that's helping treat.
Terrifying.
Yeah, so they're trying all sorts of stuff and letting the public know.
Okay, let's go through these other ones real quick. This one's good. I didn't read it, but it looks good. I'm kidding. I read it. A fiasco in the making as the coronavirus pandemic takes hold. You read it. What do you think? Look, she got to grab it and read it back. She didn't read it. She didn't read it in depth.
It was a lot about flattening the curve. So the reason that we do quarantines and social distancing is to try not to overwhelm the system. That was a lot of what that article was about.
Let me see it. Because I believe this. I believe a lot of these things, okay?
Yeah.
At a time when everyone needs better information from disease models, here's the thing. We lack reliable evidence on how many people have been infected with COVID-19. And that comes with a ton of like either good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it, right? If we lack, like, for instance, they're saying
infection rate?
Death rate, whatever it's called.
Fatality.
Boom. The fatality rate is 2%. They're saying that that's a number. No one's stating it as fact, and I'm not either.
And it's changing.
Well, you know why? Because there's hundreds of thousands of healthy people that I read one article today, and I'm not. Again, there's so much crap flying around. Don't let me claim any of this as fact. I'm not. I'm telling you about opinions I've read on the internet, which are about as reliable as your last contractor. I'm kidding. But
let's hope not.
But if it was, call us. We'll take care of it. But no, it's like hundreds of thousands of people may have already had this. It may have not originated in Wuhan. It may not have, and it may have been here for the last 2-3 months, whatever. And I know it's it's a crazy concept, but like a lot of the symptoms it came with, like when I had the flu, I had a lot of those symptoms.
And they're telling you to stay home because they don't have the tests. They're
having they don't have the amount of.
It was so funny. Last night, Trevor Noah came out with a new show, or it might have been this morning, but I watched it, and he was interviewing one of his staff, and he's like, I think I might need to dress up like a basketball player and see if I can get, because he had all this gear, and he was like, maybe I'll be able to get tested for coronavirus. You should be fine. But they're realizing that it's like all A-list actors like Tom Hanks.
Well, and that's in certain places. Certain places do have the ability to test. I mean, here the other thing we saw today was there's a company about to announce an at-home test, and we read the article, and you found certain. I didn't even bring it in here because you said you were going to destroy it, so I left it on my desk. But but it's the concept of being able to
it's a take-home coronavirus test. It's like a DNA. What is that called? Genealogy type test.
Yeah, but, sure. Whatever you call it.
But there's a swab in it. There's a cotton swab that you would put up your nose to test, and then you'd send it back, and they said that they would get the results back to you. By the way,
if you've ever done that on the flu test, it hurts.
It hurts, yeah.
That's like they're touching your brain.
But the problem is the company came out and said that they're only going to have 30,000 tests available. Okay, so 30,000. How many people live in Alabama?
Well, 20,000 got the virus yesterday, so there's
right.
that.
And the swabs, the cotton swabs, are manufactured in Italy, so they expect delays on that because they're going to having to be wait on shipments. And I don't even know if Italy's manufacturers are up and running right now.
Yeah, I mean, they are, but that's neither here nor there. At the end of the day, there's a lot of people working. There's a lot of money out there. Here's the thing about capitalism that is fantastic. Like in the free market, someone will invest the money, invest the time, and fight this virus and risk their life driving to work every single day. And there's some joking in that, but to find a cure, a test, a whatever for this, because there's economic upside in doing that. The first thing that I thought about and I'm taking this from my partner Keith, because he and I were talking about it yesterday, but when I saw this home testing company, the first thing I did, I went to the stock market. I saw, are they publicly traded? Because whether or not it works or not, they're about to
boom,
get
a lot of money. Yeah.
Bingo. The same thing with this malaria drug. Like if you're smart, you'll go find this malaria drug company that creates these tablets, and you'll go invest in their stock. You know why? Because capitalism is going to drive money to that particular company because they've created something that has some kind of benefit. So capitalism will find a way to cure this. There's no doubt in my mind. And you can say what you want about capitalism. You know, there's this huge socialism debate, which we're not going to have on this forum. But at the end of the day, capitalism will find a cure for this because there's money in it. They're going to get paid to find a cure. And I don't care what anybody thinks about anything other than that. I'm not saying anything. I'm not indicting anything else. I'm simply saying that we've shown as Americans at some point, at every point, that we're going to find, I mean.
But it's also a question of access. Capitalism is great and all, but does that mean that everyday people like you and me are going to be able to get that test?
I mean, I'm going to.
Because those people can price it. Like, if I'm the one making it and I know everybody wants it, like why don't I just?
But that's not the debate we're having, and that's not the debate we're going to have. We're not going to have the debate about big pharma driving prices through the roof on heart attack medicine for people that need it so they don't die. We're not going to do that because that's not what we're here to talk about. But at the end of the day, you're right. Access is important, but with access is quantity. Like, can you produce enough of them to get them out? Like right now, I don't think anyone can keep up with the amount of people that are being infected. So that's not even.
And then who gets it then? Yeah.
I mean, whoever can buy it.
Yeah, exactly. So they can.
That's capitalism, and there's no better system in the world.
Is that the good of the people? I mean, is that what?
Well, I mean, as long as price. Look, we talked about it yesterday. The guys in Tennessee, there's price gouging things in place, unless you're what's that name, Shkreli, that little the dude that owns the Martin Shkreli, I think's his name. He owns a pharmaceutical company, and he drove a price up, and he went to jail. It's a whole this.
Oh, you're saying there's like regulations?
Yes, there's regulations in place for price gouging to prevent that. Like I'm not over here saying like let the highest and best bidder win, or else I would have gone out and instead of buying a flip house, I would have bought hand sanitizer. Like the guy in Tennessee. Well, so I'm not advocating that, and that's not what I'm saying.
I'm saying I know. I'm just saying there's definitely downfalls to all this capitalism praise that you're giving.
Well, no, there's we'll agree to disagree. At the end of the day, it is the system we have, and it's the best system in the world, and I would be hard pressed to find that anywhere else. But the reality is this is supposed to be a positive.
Okay, so let me change the subject.
So change the subject.
Okay, so I was reading, because yesterday I talked about how I was talking about things that were created.
We start talking about capitalism. We start losing viewers.
A plague. Shakespeare
bubonic, by the way. Say it.
This was a different plague.
Oh.
3 different of his famous plays during the early 1600s, during a plague where all the theaters were shut down and he had to stay home. He wrote King Lear, Macbeth, and Antony and Cleopatra. Yep. All while he was quarantined.
That's not. You wouldn't think that's my bag. It is. I love theater. Those are great. Those are some great plays. Those are some great.
Well, yeah.
But think about it. It's literature that impacted civilizations for however long. Again, going back to what we talked about yesterday. Embrace this time. Like we are. We're having a blast.
Explore hobbies.
We're having a blast. People aren't walking in our door all the time wearing a stuff. I mean, this is good. We get to do this. We get to focus on this type of stuff. We've talked about starting a podcast about whatever crazy stuff, maybe true crime. Like she loves that, I love that. It's something that we both enjoy, and
we keep up with,
and we won't have to debate politics on it, so it'll be even better.
I don't know. It'll probably come up somehow.
There's no way to discuss politics and murder. I'm just saying. That's something we're not going to do. We're not going to discuss that because it's so hot right now in the country. We both, let me say this, because we went somewhere today that maybe we shouldn't have gone. I'm going to say this right now. I know how she believes. She knows exactly what I believe, and I respect everything that she believes. She respects everything I believe. We're not going to touch it because our business has nothing to do with politics, and because I don't care what you believe, I want to sell you cabinets. I want to put granite in your house. I want to put furniture in your living room. Like, thank you, capitalism. And so that's a joke, everybody. It's a joke. But at the end of the day, like, guys, it's okay. Again, take notes here. I mean, it's okay to disagree. She's not mad.
Right.
I'm not mad. Like, it's all good. We're going to end this stream here in about 2 minutes, and we're going to go to work.
Right.
And nothing happened in here but a conversation. You got to witness it. And so that's something that's so fresh, and it should be refreshing to you. It should be. I mean, if it's not, look, I'm a loud person. I'm going to step on her. She has no problem giving it back full tilt, okay? And so, like, it's a good, fun thing up here. Like, we tomorrow, here's what I'm promising. The reason we didn't do it today is because I didn't have a chance to get my producer to build out the slides. We're going to throw together the resources for staycation type things. If you want to go around the state of Alabama, we're going to get you a list of the assets and resources that are available to you on Friday. It'll be your Friday, go to the weekend, have a good time. And we're going to extract the DNA from a strawberry, which I'm
yeah. Before you send them off, I had a couple
absolutely.
I want to tell them.
And so tomorrow we're going to do those two things. We're going to talk about the assets available to you here in the state of Alabama that are either of no charge or very little charge, that are outdoors, that are fun, that are whatever for your family. So you can go this weekend. You can keep responsible social distancing. You can do the things that you ought to do to keep you and your family safe. And then secondly, we're going to show you one thing you can do over the weekend to try to have fun with a strawberry, which I'm reserving my judgment here.
Okay.
I'm not a big science, science guy, but she's going to convince me. So she's got something for us. What we got?
Okay, so if you are in need of any sort of food assistance,
yes.
I know a lot of food stamps out there. They only let you buy certain types of food, and so if you're in any sort of struggle, you could just dial 211, and it'll connect you to services to help you get food on the table today.
And our church is working on some stuff. I know lots of local churches are working on stuff for those who are on free and reduced lunches in the local schools here. And so we will work as hard as we could. Let's compile this list.
Right.
And let's put it out tomorrow on a slide.
Okay.
Let's certainly talk about it today. But tomorrow, what I'm telling you is that we will come back with something that you can take a screenshot of, you can remember, you can whatever. We'll tell you about it now, certainly. But tomorrow, I want you to be able to capture that and really have that as a resource kind of as you move forward. So
yeah, and you can go to any Athens City School location March 19th through the 27th between 11 and 1 to receive food. I think it's between 10 and 1, but let's just say 11 and 1. You have to have a child under 18 in the car in order to receive food, but they're not like checking to make sure you're a kid there. I look 18. Athens,
I'll ride along for the right price. Capitalism. I'm kidding.
Also,
it's a terrible joke.
Any Madison County schools, there's Harvest Elementary, Hazel Green Elementary, Madison County Elementary, Madison Crossroads, New Hope, Riverton Elementary. And I have some lists of Huntsville City if you think that we should talk about that.
I mean, look, here's what we're gonna do. There's a lot of lists out there. When we finish this live stream right now, Molly will go to the comments and type all of this in and enter it for you in the comments, so you have that. Just know that if you are hungry, if you are free and reduced lunches, this is an economic struggle for lots of people. It's an economic struggle for business owners, for you name it. I mean, everybody's hurting right now, and so like we want to provide that resource. She's got that. We'll put that in. Like, someone's willing to help. Call us. Call me directly. I will help. I'd love to buy you lunch, buy your family some groceries. Like, we'll go fight. We'll go brave Publix lines. Like, we'll go be brave and bold. Right? Like, let's go do that. I want to help out. So
yeah, and there's a couple websites if you're looking for a job that's online. You can go to flexjobs.com, remote.co, weworkremotely.com, skipthedrive.com, workingnomads.co, and upwork.com, which I've worked with before. It's
a mouthful.
Upwork.com is like writing blogs for different companies and working on different websites, content creation type stuff, and some stuff related similar to what we're doing now. But it is quick cash, but it's not, I don't know if it's sustainable long term, but based on the situation that we're in. I was looking on the websites last night, and there are still a lot of jobs available, so I would check those out if you are looking
what's up, family?
If you're
Come here, Zayden,
for a job to work from
come here, boy,
at this time.
Come here. My son just walked in. I'm trying to get him to come over here. Come over here, boy. Come here. Come here. What are you doing? Oh. Well, there's his back, folks. There's his back. I knew that wouldn't go well, but I wanted to try it anyways. All right, listen. We are going to get these things typed in. She is going to.
Yes.
She's going to do it right now. She's going to put them in the comments.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to come back tomorrow with more information, better information, and we're going to extract the DNA
Of a strawberry.
Mm-hmm. Which sounds pretty freaking cool. So, guys, thanks for tuning in. It's gonna be it for us today. We'll see you guys tomorrow, and be sure to check us out on podcast. We're in the process right now setting that up, but we will have this on a podcast very soon. All right, talk to you guys soon. Thanks.